What was your reaction when you finally heard that the invitation to come to Peking was being extended from Zhou Enlai?
Well, we had had several messages, feelers on it up to that time, and each one of them we had to reject. Zhou Enlai had sent messages indicating that he had heard from the Pakistanis. Ceausescu sent us a message indicating that he'd heard from the Chinese, but in each case the Chinese were conditioning any meeting or any change in relationship on our, frankly, dumping Taiwan. And they were also conditioning any meeting that might occur between me and Zhou Enlai on our agreeing to have Taiwan as the major subject of discussion, and I could not agree to that. So we kept saying, no, it would have to be without conditions, in effect. And finally, the message came through that Zhou Enlai would welcome us.
Who brought you the news?
And the news was brought by Henry Kissinger. It was after a state dinner, and I was up in the Lincoln City room going over my notes for the next day's meetings, and Henry came in huffing and puffing. He must have run all the way from the Situation Room, which is about 200 yards away from the sitting room and the residence. And he said, "This is the most important message between heads of government since World War II." And then he read the message. As I read it, he beamed, and the message in effect said, we will welcome the President of the United States to meet with Zhou Enlai. And then we will also welcome Dr. Kissinger to come to prepare for the meeting. And he said this message, he had with their great sense of humor and their subtlety, it ended with an interesting clause. He says, this message is somewhat different from the usual diplomatic message because it's from a head, to a head, through a head. From a head of state or government, Zhou Enlai. Through a head, of course, was Yahya, Pakistan, to a head. The message, of course, since we had no relations with China, didn't come from the Chinese. The Pakistani ambassador had delivered it to Henry Kissinger and then Kissinger to me. So it was from a head, through a head, to a head.